Morning, folks. Happy Saturday. It is a beautiful day out today. It's probably around 60 degrees. Not really having any bugs out here. Just thought I'd do a quick update for folks that happen to be online this morning. Out in my local area today, doing a look around, what I call a pattern sweep, with eyes and ears open just for any signs of activity or anything unusual going on. And since I have a signal here, I will try to do these live from now on, since I have the ability to do that. I would love to do this from the areas like Vermont and New Hampshire, but the ability to get a signal in those areas is very unpredictable. I was in New Hampshire yesterday, did a little bit of a initial assessment work for the Sunapee Vigilance Project. And all was quiet. There's still a lot of snow up there. They're still having mud season conditions. And, well, that's conducive for some track making, as we did see the evidence of a deer passing, as well as some turkey. There was wild turkeys and that kind of thing around, but it was quiet otherwise. Got out with a member of the network, John, who is native to the state, and didn't do a video and wasn't sure what his sensitivity to be on camera is. So I thought it'd be polite to not put him on camera without his permission, or just bring it on him. So that was yesterday. Sorry, thought I heard something, and it was nearby, but nothing unusual to report there. So today we're going to do that. We're going to do a couple of these live feeds and then string them together into kind of a like on-the-scene podcast kind of thing going forward. With it being so nice, I've also toyed with the idea of maybe doing it from a hammock, but then I need things to talk about because I'm not walking around doing stuff, but we'll figure that part out. So we're just checking in, and that's what's going on yesterday, what's going on today. Next week, I'll be making a trip to the Adirondacks, and that will not be live because I know there's no signal there. And we're back, folks. We had a little trouble up on the hill. Normally, I had a better signal last week. It's kind of unpredictable in here. Thought I'd take a moment to talk about the scourge of this time of year, that being ticks, notably deer ticks. And I say that because I was inspired by a picture of the moose cow the other week. She has a big bald spot on her shoulder where she's been digging at them, so that's an indicator they're kind of bad this year. So the best ways for people to avoid ticks, and I say this with a little bit of a disclaimer, there is a product called Sawyer's Permethrin, which if you read the instructions, and I highly suggest that you do, because it is technically a neurotoxin, it works by not so much repelling as killing ticks. You put this on your clothes and your gear, not on you, not on your dog. That can't be emphasized enough. So I usually do that a day or two prior to heading out to a place like this. For yourself, for your dog, DEET and something similar. DEET is usually the best indicator for me, or the best thing to deal with on skin. I've had good luck in the last few years doing this. We're being serenaded by a palladiated woodpecker and various songbirds. The thing is, though, I also bring a set of tweezers as well as Germ-X to deal with anything. Should one get on you and dig in, so to speak, you can deal with it then and there. And rather than just put them back in the, if you're at a campsite kind of thing, I would just suggest putting them to the fire, because that way it's one less you have to worry about later. Just a couple of things to concern yourself with when you're out in the woods. People worry sometimes about bears and this kind of thing. Ticks are probably your biggest threat in here. Lyme disease is no fun. And I actually read last week there was some in I think it was New Jersey, there's some kind of a Asian tick that's bringing in a whole new slew of stuff. So all the more important to protect yourself. Just some thoughts on that subject as I'm checking this area. I'm going to check out again, and then I'm going to, I'm going to work my way down the hill. I'm not sure what hunting season it is. There's somebody shooting down the way, so I'm not sure how that'll affect the rest of this. But we will check in a bit. I'm going to check out again if it's all the same. And if I have a signal, we will continue. Hopefully we're back and we're live, and hopefully this is going to pan out. Heard something feline sounding actually in here. And going live, we're going to go take a look. These don't usually pan out, bear in mind, but we have the opportunity. There's someone was digging, so it looks around there. Could be anything though. Leaf litter being what it is. But I'm also going to put the disclaimer in, we're heading into a dip. That is usually where the signal will get unpredictable. We will hopefully not have that happen, but sorry. I don't know if you can hear that. There's running water too, but somewhere over in there, something made a yowling sound, not unlike some kind of a cat. And we do have like bobcats and things like that in here, so that's one possibility. And given the range of vocalizations that coyotes are capable of, I wouldn't immediately rule them out either as a possibility. But given the rocky nature of this area, I could see something having a den in here somewhere, especially down this hill. Looks like we got some rockiness going on. Somebody could have dug into a hillside or something. But we'll go in a ways and see, walk down to where the stream is if I can keep the signal going. And see what we find. It's good doing these now in the early spring as you don't have all the undergrowth in yet. You can actually see in a ways. And folks that are watching or watch later can actually get an idea of the nature of the terrain that I'm walking through and all that. Of course, I'm not seeing the source of the noise. That is not surprising. But it was an opportunity to potentially see something anyway. Stream is over here. We'll walk in that far and see. There's like a knocking or thumping sound, but I actually think that's gunshots because we're near a state line actually, and on the other end of the state there's like I don't know if you'd call it a homestead or something, and somebody actually does live fairly deep in the woods on the other side, and he could be doing something on his land. Never know. But there's your stream. I don't know if you can see it yet. So in the beginning of this, I called this a podcast. I don't know if this really counts as one, but I'm going to throw it out there as one. I'll kind of connect all these things later, share it around various social media outlets. But what I like about this is, as we start doing these, no one really knows what's going to happen because we're doing them live. And basically anything can or nothing can happen. You know, we talk about the various things that are going on in outdoor subjects, not unlike the tick population and things, as well as I don't know if you guys can see this. Something was digging. I'm not really sure what, but with it all wide open like this, it's easy for game to come through here. It could be anything. You're right near a water source, and I think what is flying around me might be black flies. Things that were up in the north in the past seem to be coming south now, so that is not always a good... Oh, good, we can zoom in this. Very good. Cool. I don't think the Facebook one lets you do that, although I could be wrong. It might vary with your phone, too. Okay, so we've gotten to the stream, which is right there. It goes down through those rocks. There's no bobcat, there's nothing making noise, so that has been, I've been juked that way. So I'm going to move long at this point, move along at this time. Sorry, I'm kind of watching the camera, not paying attention, but we are going to head back. We're going to take a break, and we're going to probably head along a parallel path when we come back. So as much as we are out in the woods, and this does sound like kind of like a show-like format, stay tuned. And we'll come back in a few. And we are back, and we are in the area called the High Meadow. I did a quick stopover in Facebook just to check in there, see if, not sure how this app works for taking questions and the like, but if there are any questions you want asked, again, this is Mike. I am one of the people that mans the New England Sasquatch Investigative Network. Today we're just kind of doing a pattern sweep through the local vigilance area, various parts of it anyway. And I am grumpy because the minute I stopped the last broadcast, we had a loud turkey vocalization. That would have been a nice thing, but we're up in this. This is an area that was logged a couple of years ago. Had a brush fire up in here, which has since been kind of grown. The undergrowth has grown over it, so you can't really tell. At the time, though, it was blackened. On the way out, there was actually, I guess, a state DEP controlled burn for some habitat-related considerations that was done over the weekend, because last week it was pasture, this week it's basically all black ash. So there's that. But again, we're gonna sort of wrap up making our way through here. I kind of like the area. It's got some nice scenery, and we saw some deer scat down the way, just looking for moose tracks. It's a bedding area for some of the ungulates, and the reason I find it useful, during the winter I found evidence the moose cow had a calf up here, or at least she had a calf, and I found signs of two moose as opposed to one up here, to be more precise. But this area is kind of like back and away from things, and kind of a nice place to wrap up. So we'll do that. So again, this is kind of a roving podcast thing I think I'll start doing. Hopefully you enjoy it and can add feedback here or on Facebook, because I will be sharing it there once I figure out exactly how to do that. But we're going to wrap up at this point and enjoy the way out. Hope you've enjoyed this. One of these days something interesting will happen, like a bear walk by or something, but in the meantime, I share bits and pieces of the area I'm in and commentary, and the thing about doing it live is anything can happen or not, so there's always that possibility. So we're going to wrap this one up. We thank you for watching, and if you catch it after the fact, that's fine too. Feel free to leave comments, feedback, questions, that kind of thing, if you feel moved to do so, and we will say good day.